The U.S. EPA Administrator visited Ohio Thursday and spoke to East Palestine residents. Hear what he had to say to residents and updates on the recovery efforts.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine gave a press conference this morning addressing the recovery efforts in East Palestine. Hear what he is doing to help.
And the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services will visit East Palestine to provide aid to the community.
It is National Kindness Day. Find out about the holiday and more as Portage Pulse starts right now.
Good afternoon, Portage County. Welcome to this week's episode of Portage Pulse. I'm Nikki Gasiewski.
And I'm Joe Malbin.
The United Way of Portage County Emergency Food and Shelter Program received a $67,940 grant from federal program. The program is administered by the Federal Emergency Management Agency. The grant will go towards housing, utility, and food assistance programs. Organizations interested in applying for the grant should contact Bill Childers, Chair of the United Way of Portage County EFSP Board.
And Portage County's first medical marijuana dispensary is opening in Ravenna. The store Supergood, formerly known as Good Haven, will open at 554 North Chestnut Street in the coming weeks. Another dispensary called Bliss, Ohio, will be opened in March, located at 331 East Main Street. Supergood store manager Kate Cunningham said, quote, "I think it will be convenient for everyone."
Data from Portage County Prosecutor's Office shows felony drug cases on the rise with almost 6% increase compared to last year's cases. Prosecutor Victor Vigalucci says the Portage County courts are busy and in need of expansion. In terms of the caseload, Portage County courts are the busiest in the state. Vigalucci acknowledges the expansion of the court would be costly, but he says citizens deserve to have their cases brought in a timely manner.
An Akron police officer has been charged with 21 counts of inappropriately filming minor girls. 32-year-old Mikhail Dillon was arrested after felony warrants were issued for his arrest. According to the Akron Police Department, Can prosecutors say he filmed one girl 20 times and another victim once. Akron Police Chief Steve Milet condemned the behavior, saying, quote, "This alleged behavior is disgusting." The officer was placed on leave.
The concerns surrounding the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio continues to grow as weeks go on.
Our segment anchor, Skylar Eddington, has all the updates. Skylar?
That's right. Yesterday, the United States EPA Administrator Michael Regan visited East Palestine to reassure residents. Our reporter Alexandria Manthey was there and has the story.
All families need to know that they are safe. All families deserve access to clean air and safe drinking water.
Michael Regan, administrator of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, visited East Palestine, Ohio to give an assessment of response efforts after a 5-car train derailment.
24/7 air monitoring to ensure the health and safety of all residents. As it relates to water, EPA is supporting Ohio and the local government in determining what impacts the spill has had on surface and groundwater and ensuring that the derailment has not had an effect on drinking water supplies.
The EPA is working around the clock to provide testing results for air and water quality.
The water, we are not showing any evidence of any contaminants. The governor pushed that news out yesterday. The municipal water wells are safe to drink.
But until more test results come back,
The Ohio Department of Health has recommended that residents use bottled water.
Both local and federal officials, including the EPA, made it clear that the residents of East Palestine and their health and wellness is their first priority.
You are not alone. I am here. I work for you. It's not the other way around. My office is open.
the cause of the train derailment still remains unknown.
Be here as often as it takes, and most importantly, I will be watching Norfolk Southern. Watching them and letting them know I'm watching them is important as anything I can do.
EPA has also issued a letter to Norfolk Southern outlining actions at the site and how the agency will hold the railroad accountable for cleanup and cost under EPA's circular authority.
State officials are working to get government relief to those who need it.
This morning, the governor did talk with President Biden. He has requested assistance from the CDC. He has requested assistance in terms of medical professionals on the ground to provide physical and mental behavioral health counseling services.
Regan and many others will be in the area for the foreseeable future, saying, quote, "We will be here until the job is done." Reporting in East Palestine, I'm Alexandria Manthey.
A report has shown indoor pets might also be affected from the New Palestine derailment. A family that has lived in New Palestine for 2 years rushed home to evacuate their family and pets when the train derailed. They then found their cat, who was having a hard time breathing, and rushed him to a vet clinic in Pittsburgh. The family was then told the cat had congestive heart failure and the cause could be due to vinyl chloride gases. Governor Mike DeWine asked the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Department of Health and Human Services to send teams to East Palestine Thursday. DeWine hopes to have physicians and behavioral health specialists come in as residents' concerns rise for short and long-term effects. The Biden administration approved the request, and the Department of Health and Services will be making their way to New Palestine. The CDC, however, has not yet responded to DeWine's request.
Whatever damages have been caused, the railroad is responsible for those damages. And we're going to insist that they pay.
Governor DeWine has been trying to calm concerns the residents of East Palestine have by making his plans of action aware. DeWine and the Ohio Department of Health have been working on a clinic for the citizens who may have been exposed to some contaminated air. DeWine also stated that the U.S. EPA will continue to test the air and that over 500 homes have been tested. The Ohio River is believed to be of no concern due to no detectable chemicals as well.
Whatever damages have been caused, the railroad is responsible for those damages. And we're going to insist that they pay.
For more updates regarding the East Palestine train derailment, be sure to stick with TV2 and Kent Wired for further information. You can get it at ema.ohio.gov/East Palestine. Reporting for Portage Pulse, I'm Skylar Eddington.
Thanks, Skylar. Ohio House Speaker Jason Stephens shared his priorities for the upcoming House term Wednesday. He introduced 12 priority bills in his overall vision of making Ohio more competitive. 4 of those bills deal with growing the economy. Additional bills are for protecting families and improving education in Ohio. Stephens needs Democratic support and insists his priorities having input from Democrats.
And the Ohio State GOP is reintroducing a bill to which would prohibit transgender girls from participating in school sports. Republican House Speaker Jason Stephens announced that the bill would protect the integrity of girls' sports. The GOP has not confirmed how they would be able to confirm biological sex. However, the GOP feels confident as over 18 other states have passed similar bills.
2 groups are working together to apportion access in Ohio's Constitution. Protect Choice Ohio and Ohioans for Reproductive Freedom announced Thursday they'll work together to put the ban on November's ballot. Anti-abortionists have promised to fight to prevent the issue from making the ballot. For the abortion accessibility measure to make the ballot, it will need a submitted language signed by 1,000 voters.
Trump and his allies are continuing to be investigated in Georgia. What the grand jury is accusing him of ahead.
U.S. officials say a potential cybersecurity threat can interfere with the upcoming presidential election. Hear what they're doing to prevent it.
Student Newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Welcome back. President Joe Biden addressed the flying object that the United States shot down this past weekend. He said, quote, "The U.S. accused act in abundance of caution when shooting down 3 unidentified objects. The U.S. is still attempting to recover the objects." Biden said nothing indicates that there are surveillance objects from China or any other country.
We don't yet know exactly what these 3 objects were, but nothing right now suggests they were related to China's spy balloon program or that they were surveillance vehicles from any other country.
The director of the Federal Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency expresses concern about cyber threats from Russia and China in the 2024 election. She calls Russia a threat because of the U.S. supplying aid to Ukraine Chinese interference is possible with relations between the U.S. and China deteriorating and the Chinese spy balloon. State secretaries call for federal funding to prepare for cybersecurity threats.
The 5 Memphis police officers charged in the murder of Tyree Nichols pled not guilty in court today. Tamaris Bean, Dimitri Haley, Justin Smith, Emmett Martin III, and Desmond Mills Jr. are the 5 officers involved in the case. They face charges of second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, official misconduct, and official oppression. The former officers are due back in court on May 1st.
As former President Trump plans his 2024 re-election campaign, a special grand jury is investigating Trump and his allies. The jury is investigating the former president's attempts to overturn his 2020 election in Georgia. Members of the special grand jury said they believe 1 or more Trump-related witnesses committed perjury. The grand jury also urged local prosecutors to press charges.
Findings from Biden's personal doctor revealed that he is, quote, healthy, vigorous, and fit. These conclusions were reached Thursday by Biden's physician since 2009, Dr. Kevin O'Connor. Though Biden is the oldest president, these findings match the findings from his last exam in November 2021. With Biden seeking a second term, no speculation was made about Biden's health. Might be at age 86, which is how old he'll be when his second term might end. Today, February 17th, the world celebrates Random Act of Kindness Day.
The day was initiated in Denver, Colorado in 1995 by nonprofit organization, the Random Acts of Kindness Foundation. The event spread all the way to New Zealand 9 years later.
Some ways to celebrate Random Act of Kindness Day include complimenting a stranger, treating a homeless person to lunch, and anonymously donating to charity. Okay, so what do you guys plan on doing today to celebrate?
I think that I'm going to go to a restaurant and pay for the person behind me.
I think I don't have anything planned, but I think, you know, just being kind and how you talk to people and just opening the door for people, I think small stuff like that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I plan on giving my sister a Starbucks drink.
Nice.
That's hard though, because I don't want to ask her with her knowing, so I'm gonna have to try to remember her order.
Yeah.
Which is really hard and picky.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all the time we have for this week's episode of Portage Pulse.
When TV2 is off the air, stay up to date on top stories on KentWired.com.
And on socials at Kent Wired, I'm Skylar Eddington.
I'm Joe Malbin.
And I'm Nikki Gasiewski. Have a great day, Portage County.